welcome to the Sideboard One Last Time here at the StarCityGames.com Season 2 Invitational in Roanoke, part of the SCG Tour, brought to you by Ultimate Guard. Nick Miller alongside our now Invitational champion, Kassis. Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
You won an Open earlier this year to get your first Open title. Now you've got an Invitational trophy to go with it.
All right, well, that's heavier than I would have guessed.
Yeah, we spare no expense with this. Now, I got to bring this up because yesterday, round 16, you know, the math was really wonky. There was a lot of X4s.
Yeah.
We weren't sure who was live. And you got paired against Kevin Jones, which normally in a win-in situation is going to be a very easy feature match for round 16. But as the math looked and how the pairings looked, we didn't even know you would make top 8 if you won. You guys played the match out. You got the win over Kevin Jones, and then when the announcement happened, everyone was surprised that you had snuck in.
Yeah, even me. It was really funny when we sat down. We were both so loosey-goosey with everything that he mulled the 5 and kept a 1-lander and just never materialized anything. And then game 2 was very sloppily played. Even my game 3 was sloppily played, but I managed to trip over the finish line to get him. And then they're like, "You're in," and I was like, "What?" So I heard somebody had gotten sort of dream crushed. And it'll pave the way for me into the top 8, which was really, really lucky.
Once you were there, you know, you took it and you just rode all the way. You were the 8th seed. You had, you know, an uphill battle every round.
Yeah.
You know, going into the quarterfinals, you have to face Gerard, who basically didn't lose this weekend. You know, very little losing. He had a deck that, very similar to Sam's, looked to be on paper good against Teamer, but
yeah,
you took down both the 4-color energy decks.
You know, both their lists were very impressive, and I think they were very good at battling the way Teamers have adjusted to what they think to encounter in the metagame. So I went back to what I felt was like a much older list, and like just what I thought streamlined. I'm sure some people will joke about it because I had Lightning Strike instead of a Braid. I didn't find a diminishable difference between the two, and I really liked that post sideboard you could Lightning Strike Anissa, which everybody seemed to be up to 2 copies of for a little while, and I had that come up a couple times. It was really good. I was planning on using it to finish off Sam Black in the finals, but then I drew Vizier, and I was just like, all right, well, this is more guaranteed. So then that happened. Yeah.
So you take down Gerard 3-0, you know, on the draw every game. Not a problem.
Game. Yeah, well, he's a very good player. He just didn't draw well. So
kept some Gerard-esque hands, but you know,
yes.
You live by that, you die by that. And you get to the semis, you're against Mono Red, which you know historically is pretty good for Teamer. But you know that was the only game 5 we had in the top 8.
Right.
Pretty big sweat there, and then you got a somewhat easy game 5.
And I was on the draw, so I had to break serve 1 game out of the 3 that he was attempting to win, which was tough. But finally in game 3, he had a mulligan and then a weak 6, I think. He didn't play anything on turn 1, 2, or 3. He may have Lightning Striked one of my creatures.
Yeah, just a bunch of removal spells.
Yeah, and then I had a coup, just sandbag, waiting for the Red God to come out to take. So it just felt like that game was over once that happened.
So you reach the finals, you're facing Sam Black. It's the 7 versus the 8. What are you thinking before the finals?
I'm thinking Sam Black's one of the best players in the world, and it's going to be a tough match again. I'm on the draw again, even though he was 7th seat. And I liked the matchup because it was very similar to what me and Gerard had played already, and I have done it so many times that I kind of had it like streamlined, the motions. And I felt like I had maneuvered into good positions most of those games, so everything just worked out really well after that.
What was the difference, you know, between your deck? Do you feel you just nailed it perfectly? And talk about your modern choice as well.
Sure. I don't think I nailed it perfectly. I played a main deck one of Spell Pierce. I thought I could sort of get people in the mirror of Teamers, but I mostly wanted it to make sure my approach match was good. It was really weird. I didn't see any approach here. I think one person maybe was playing green-white approach.
There was like 5 total in day 2.
Yeah, so I majorly miscalled the metagame on playing that, so I would definitely be cutting that from the deck. I really liked all my 3-drop, 4-drop, 5-drop column. I don't think I would have changed any of those numbers at all. I think the 2s were a little maneuverable, and it's possible to play one more, because Sam was doing this, one more spray in the 1-drop column. So I think the Pierce would become spray, and I'm not sure if I'd want to keep both Lightning Strikes at that point. It might just become a 1-of, and then either play the 4th Servant or maybe a spicy random other card. Right. That's what I would change for the main deck. So don't message me on Facebook and ask me by the Horde, please. For Modern, I played Storm. I don't want to say this because of going to the GP that's Modern next week, but Storm's the best deck, so either be prepared for it. You actually don't need to. There's so many decks in Modern that you still have to make your deck very variable and ready to fight whatever you face. But I really like Storm's ability to just win through a lot of different locks. So nobody can really just shut you out. They can't just be like, Thalia, I win. You can just be like, all right, the other Lord, or Grape Shot that, and then win anyway. They can't just be like, rest in peace. I've had my graveyard locked out many times. You're just like, Ritual, Morphos, Grape Shot you, remand it, Grape Shot you. They have to really shut you down on like hand size, graveyard, and make things harder to cast. And it's really hard to do that in Modern while still having a good deck to face the field.
So don't message him about Standard. Play Storm. That's the information we've got so far. Finally, you won the Legacy Open with Miracles right before Sensei's Divining Top got banned. You kind of mentioned that in the winner's interview. What's the deal with Standard here? Is this deck still fine, or do you need to make the decision?
I'll say it. Ban a tune. There was a Reddit thread after that, and like a lot of people were hating on me. They're like blaming me specifically for having banned top. I'm sure there were other factors that went into it, not just me, but yeah, I mean, I'll say it. Ban a tune. Every match I played in this entire tournament was teamer, except for my semifinals. That was mono red. So that was 10 teamers and 1 mono red.
That's standard format. Lastly, what is your token of choice? You get a bunch of money and this trophy, and now you're going to be on token distributed at all the opens coming up.
Well, I have 2 GP top 8s with Bant Retreat, and the only token in that deck is Voice of Resurgence. So Voice of Resurgence elemental token.
All right, it'll be awesome to see that next year. You've been a constant mainstay on the SCG Tour. Got a couple of wins this year, and this is a very nice one to top the year, I'd say.
Yeah, this is a nice crown. This is also my biggest finish to date as far as prizes. So very excited by this one.
Can't complain there.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Ely. You
Thank
put
you.
on a great show this weekend.
Appreciate it.
I'm going to send it back to Patrick and Cedric one last time here in Roanoke.